Okay, 11-4, solving inequalities by multiplying and dividing. Now we've done some of this, mostly adding and subtracting, but you do it all the same way. There's only one weird thing, and we're going to get to the weird thing in a minute. Remember, this is how you do it. You pretend that's an equal sign, and you just solve it like you would if that was an equation. So, times 2 times 2, the 2's cancel, so that's x is greater than 10. And you graph it, empty circle because of the plain sign, and you have to make sure you color in and have an arrow. Some of you had trouble last time we had a test with arrows. Put an arrow that I can tell is an arrow and fill this part in. Okay, now, okay, here comes the weird part. This is the only weird thing with this. If you multiply or divide by a negative, the sign is going to flip. So that means if this number with the x is negative, the sign is going to flip. That means it's going to turn the opposite direction. Or if this number you're dividing with the x is negative, the sign is going to flip. Now, honestly, I don't know why the sign flips. Okay, I'm just going to say I don't know. Some things in math you just have to accept this is the way it works and go on. If you worry about why, you will lose your mind. So, let's work the first one. Negative 3x is greater than 5. So I divide by negative 3. I divide by negative 3. I just divided by a negative. The sign flips. Okay? That would be negative 5/3. That would be weird to graph, yes. But I'm making this one up out of my head, so it came out a fraction, of course. You would graph it. That wouldn't be terrible. But see the sign flip? That's what I want you to get. Sign flip. Does the sign flip on all of them? No. The sign only flips when you're dividing by a negative. When this number is negative, the sign flips. Now, this number is negative. So guess what's going to happen? The sign's going to flip. So, we're going to multiply by negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. Cancel, cancel. X, sign flip, negative 4. Then you graph it. Okay? Every time this number with the x is negative, the sign is going to flip. All the ones we did before, none of them had negative numbers with the x's. So we didn't have to deal with the sign flip until now. Okay, look at the two examples above. One of them, the sign is going to flip. Which one do you think the sign is going to flip on? If you said this one, you are correct. How do I know? The negative is with the x. This one does not have a negative. The sign doesn't flip. So let's solve them both. Okay, first one, we're going to multiply by 5. So times 5 times 5. We're going to get x is greater than 30. When we graph it, we're going to draw our number line with our arrows at the end. Put 30 right there, and that's a plain sign. It's an empty circle. That is an empty circle, and it's going this way. Okay, notice you can tell it's an arrow on the end. Okay, the other one, divide by negative 3. Divide by negative 3, the sign flips. X is greater than 4. Do your graph. Put 4 there. Plain sign, so empty circle, going this direction. Okay, not hard. Really not hard. The only thing is you've got to remember the sign flip. When does sign flip happen? Sign flip happens when the number with the x is negative, or the number under the x. See, that number's positive, so we don't flip. This number's negative, we flip. Okay, let's do these two practice problems. Stop the video, do them, and then turn it back on to see if you did it right. Don't forget the sign flip when you need it. One of these flips, one doesn't. Okay, here's the worked out solutions. The first one had the sign flip. How did you know the sign flipped? The negative number is with the x. This one doesn't have a negative number with the x. The sign doesn't flip. Okay, look at yours. Look at mine. See if they're alike. I hope they are. Okay, here's your video homework. I want you to notice one thing about this video homework. Do you see this negative number over here on the side that's away from the x? And this negative number on the side away from the x? Those negative numbers have nothing to do with sign flips. You only flip signs when you have a negative number with the x. Okay? Get this done. Bring it to class tomorrow. Have a great evening. That's all.